Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here, and greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Hokey smokes. Hoy vey, it's a late start. It's 9:30 and some. I'm waving my arm around now. I'm waving it around now. I could not do that when I woke up this morning. It ached. It wasn't a sharp pain. It wasn't anything like that, but it was an ache all the way down. My entire arm was just, So I took my medications, and while it still feels heavy, I'm still fighting springs. You'll notice I'm also waving it around like I just don't care. It hurts, but it's in the background pain area. Which, for me, if you go on the 0 to 10 scale, 0 is nothing, 10 is the most pain you can ever have. 5, of course, being right in the middle. Anything from a 3 to a 5, I can largely just ignore, because it's just background pain. I lived with pain for like 40 years now. You know, I'm used to dealing with it. Anything above a 5, it really starts to drag on my whole body, mind, and I can't move body parts that are there. That's the way my arm was for, God, over a month. It was horrific, but now, yeah, it's, right now, I'd put it only like a 3 on the scale for pain, so, yeah. Very, very cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Hopefully it will stay that way. But it took so long. And so, I couldn't do anything. Late start. It is 9:37 right now. Oy vey. My housemates stayed for 2 nights, but they left yesterday while I was out on walkies. I won't see them again for probably until next week, likely. But I'm in contact with them online, so if anything happens, but right now, the whole housing situation is still, they could find housing today, in which case, the end of the month, it all stops. It could be they don't find housing until our lease comes up at the end of September, in which case, we're still here until the end of September. I put it in a post or a comment. The sword of Damocles is over my head. I mean, we all have the sword of Damocles over our head. Which, I mean, if you know the Greek stuff, it's just this guy, Damocles, would invite guests to sit at his table and he would treat them like a king, only there was a sword dangling over their chair. And maybe the sword would fall, maybe the sword would not. Of course, if it fell, they'd have to bury your remains. And so that's just all the sword of Damocles statement. I'm pedantic, I info dump. But the sword of Damocles is hanging by just a few threads right now. Which, like I say, could fall tomorrow, could fall at the end of September. I am just, as stated, a huge ball of panic and static inside of my head. It's a little bit better since I know I don't just have to leave the end of the month. Maybe. So, yeah, I am trying to deal with keeping Comcast going. And as stated, I don't know why the bill is that high. My housemates don't know why the Comcast bill is so high. People in comments have said, yeah, we've looked it up, it should be like $155. Yeah, that's why my housemates are pissed. That's why my housemates are stopping payment. Because it should be $155, and they can't get any good answer as to why it's creeped up to over $300. Yeah, that's part of the reason. So, yeah, they're having to stop it because they can't pay for it. I'm only giving them money to pay for it because I need my internet access here. My internet that I am going to be paying for when I have to finally move is going to be DSL. Something cheap. I am not going to be paying $300 a month for internet because I can't afford that. Quite simply. So no fear. I'm going for something cheap. But that is why I keep asking for, if you can afford it, money to pay for the Comcast bill, as well as trying to get money to pay for a hotel room, pay for storage, pay for a U-Haul, and then pay for transportation from place to place, so that when I have to move, I'm not just homeless on the street. If I can get, well, I need to contact HUD-VASH, ask them what's going to go on, part of the Veterans Administration stuff and the government, to find out exactly, because my therapist keeps telling me about the one vet. He has a lot of vet. He deals with a lot with vets. But the one vet that he tells me about over and over again is this guy slept one night in his car. One night. And the next day, the Veterans Administration had him housed. And for the next year and some, he had a contract, and probably been renewed, where anytime he had an appointment, he just had to call for an Uber and VA would pay for it. So I need to contact them, find out exactly about what that system entails, because if all I have to do is not have a home, my plan is get my stuff into storage so I don't lose it. Get the UPS so I can get the U-Haul so I can move my stuff from here to storage, get a hotel room to stay in, get that transportation, and then because I am homeless, the Veterans Administration can then step in. Now, if I don't need first, last, and security deposit because of the Veterans Administration, then my needs are still higher than I can afford, but smaller than, a huge amount. And on my GoFundMe, I have a goal of $15,000. That's because on GoFundMe, you have to have a goal. I don't need a lot. I just need enough to get me where I need to go. Now, if the Veterans Administration can't do that, then yeah, I need to be able to find a place, and then I've got to be able to pay first, last, and deposit. If it's in Shelton, then there's apparently still places that will help with that. If I have to move to another city here, I have no ideas what the community resources are. So yay, but I just wanted to give an update on what's happening in that fashion. Right now, I don't know what's going on. My housemates are in flux, and as soon as they get housing, and as stated, the 2 days that they were here, they were glued to their phones, as well as they turn on the TV, they watch the TV, they're glued to their phones at the same time. But when they had time to do things, they were searching for housing. They're actively seeking housing. As soon as I become homeless, apparently the VA will snap me up, but I need to become homeless first. I'm going to call, well, I don't even need to call. They have an online web thing where I can chat with people, and then they'll likely call. But then they can talk to me and I can find out exactly what the plan is. And when I do, I will, of course, keep everyone updated. I am also continuously updating the front page of my GoFundMe to reflect reality as I know things. So thumbs up on that. And I also still have stuff on my list here. I've had ARM. Oh! I need to walk at night, checking the time. I need to go back to walking at night again. When I took my shower last night and trimmed my hair, oh my God. I mean, again, you can't see it and there's too much light. But when you have lesser light and this stuff is not washed out, the back of my hand still looks baked. dark compared to the rest of me, of course. This has a big difference, but it's huge back here. I don't need to be dealing with the sun like this at my age. Even using the SPF 50 stuff isn't really helping. I mean, it's helping a bit on my hands, but even these, I mean, you can't tell, once again, washed out, but there is a huge difference between the pasty white of my covered body and this is dark brown compared. When I look at this, again, I worked in healthcare. The back of my hand looks to me like I was abused and this is bruised. I don't like that aesthetically because it reminds me of that. And I don't need the skin cancer possibility issues. Again, I don't know if you can tell because of the washed out color, but this is pasty white compared to this, and this is light compared to this. And these are nothing compared to the back of my neck, and my forehead has gotten dark. I need to walk at night. This walking during the daytime, no. No. Unfortunately, that means some places that I like to go, I'm not going to be able to. So some days, like once or twice a week, I'm going to have to walk while the sun's up, I guess. Checking my list as well. That is right. Occasionally I will be able to do things because I'm irate. And last night I got irate. While my editor was, I think it was even rendering, I was irate because I turned back here and I saw that I had Notequest down there. And it had been a long time since I'd done anything. So I pulled out the Notequest book and I got one of my notebooks and I set it down. Got two sheets, character sheets. One's a character sheet, one's a mapping thing. And got my dice tower. I had dice over here. And I played some Notequest. Notequest is, again, and I play Notequest Expanded World. You have a choice. The Expanded World is you pay only $2 for it on drivethrurpg.com. Drive-through, THRU. But it's only $2 and it's good. It's one of those games where it's less than 30 seconds to make a character. Literally, you write a name, you roll 2 dice. Oh, that's my class. Oh, you roll, that's my race. These are my hit points. You roll your dice. Oh, this is my class. This is my hit point modifier. Done. That's your character. You have a weapon that you write down. It does its damage. That's how fast it is to make your character. Roll, write, done. You can make a character in less than a minute. And then when you go dungeoneering, because it's all, you decide how big a small, a medium size, or a large, or a wide room is. My first time, my character went into the dungeon, hallway. One door here, one door here. Went into this door, and it was a stairs downward. Well, that's kind of dangerous. That door filled with 6 scorpions to fight. No other rooms. No other choices but to go down or fight. So this character tried to fight the scorpions. I rolled a lot of 1s. When you're fighting in Notequest, you take the number of monsters that they are, you take how much damage that they do, you take the damage for the monster, you say, oh, they do 1 point of damage. There's 5 of them. You take 5 points of damage. No rolls, no defenses. Well, there are defenses. If you have armor that specifically says it will take damage, then you can. But otherwise, it goes right off your hit points. And then you roll your damage to hurt them. Well, that guy was eaten by scorpions. They picked over his corpse until, just scattered bones. I imagine he was probably tasty. Now, my other character, I've actually saved the character sheet in the map. They are surviving. Actually doing pretty good. First time they got battered up, had to go back to town, buy some stuff, the coins they had, headed back in, did much better. Again, it is fast. When I had to make up my second character, 30 seconds, and I was ready and starting the map again. If you want to play a solo thing, whether it's in paper or you do it digitally, if you want something fast, if you don't want to go really in-depth, Notequest, really, really good. And I just wanted to talk about this. Notequest is one of the first games I've seen, and I imagine there were ones that are earlier and better, where when you enter a location, you open it up, a 2-page spread to that location. And then there's random dice things on that. There are a lot of games that have come out since Notequest or around that time where you can't see the title, A Torch in the Dark, where you're going into a dungeon. Each dungeon, you flip open the 2-page spread. You turn cards for that particular one. 2d6 dungeon. For each level, you open up the page and you have the spread for the dungeon. That one particularly has a codex book which has the actual random tables in it. But there are a lot of them that just do that now. You open up the page to the particular level and there's a bunch of the random stuff. I think that's cool. You can get a lot of stuff in a tiny area. Thumbs up for that. Now, do I have anything else on my list? Let's see, I've got, oh my arm hurt, played some Notequest, need to walk at night, everything was late. The only real things I have on here are silly things like gatekeeping. I was watching a Fact Fiend video this morning with Carl Smallwood and friends, and they were talking about gatekeeping. And how weird it is that there's gatekeeping, because when I like something and I find somebody that likes something, I want to go talk to them. I want to share what I learned. I want to find out what they've learned. I want to have a dialogue. I want to have fun. It's great when other people enjoy what I enjoy. Why would people gatekeep? And they do. I mean, they do. Gatekeeping is horrible. If you come across somebody that likes what you like, why would you say no? Where's the fun in that? You're not into the hobby for fun. I mean, I can see. You want to gatekeep people that are there to cause trouble. You want to gatekeep trolls out of the situation. You want to gatekeep against people that they wouldn't be enjoying what you enjoy. In which case, if you handle it as in, I don't think that this would be good for you, but because you're interested in this sort of thing, try this instead. That sort of thing is okay. You're not really gatekeeping. So yeah, gatekeepers suck. And then with 77 Arcturus talking about how their neighborhoods are going from houses to large buildings, and I think it's New York. Unfortunately, the landscape of when I was growing up and when my parents were growing up is gone. You could buy a house. Houses were made for people to live in. You could buy prefab houses that you could create. There were all sorts of options, but the idea was to get you into a home. All the advertising was for getting you into a house. Everything was about getting you a house, which is no longer true, but of course the boomers grew up with that. They aren't ready to change their minds, because that's not true anymore. All of the corporations and smaller companies, and even just someone who has an extra house and wants to make some cash, they rent out their house through a company. Small company, large company, doesn't matter. You have buildings that are buying up houses to smash them all down to put up rental apartments. The landscape of buying a home, that's not really a viable part of the American dream unless you are moneyed. And over half of the population of the United States literally lives paycheck to paycheck with no savings, so if something happens, that's it. The United States is one of the richest companies, one of the richest countries in the world, and all that wealth is focused upward. After all, as they say, during the pandemic, we lost $3.9 trillion worth of buying power. $3.9 trillion were lost to the middle class and lower. Guess where that went? Rich people somehow made $3.9 trillion during that time. Huh. But in the time I have left, I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments. I'm going to go through and thank however many people there are. If I mispronounce your username, I'm on gabapentin. That doesn't help my ADHD at all. When I listen to all my stuff, to me, I sound like I'm talking quick and normal. When I listen back to my gameplay or my vlogs, I sound like this. Hey everybody. Ugh. So hopefully it's not that bad, but let me call up my Chrome because we have, I can't see anything. I have nearsighted this eye, farsighted this eye, astigmatic, and both my monitor is too far away for this eye to see. It is too close for this eye to see, and with my glasses that doesn't help, and with my computer gone and this extra table in front of me is far enough away that my eyes can't see it comfortably anymore. Oh, 2023 has been a great year. We have Larry from Space, thumbs up and thank you. Good to see you. It's Roulette. Good to see you as well. I hope to see you more often. I miss you in the comments. We have Jan. As soon as I get through all this, as soon as I get moved, as soon as I get things comfortable again, I'm going to get back into reactions. Panic and static. We have Chris, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. And thank you for the kind words on my commentary on my gameplay. I try. I am low key, low energy, and very dry humor. I tend not to be, I'm not a Markiplier or a Jacksepticeye. I'm just low energy, low key, dry humor. Except when I just laugh because there's meat everywhere. And then we have the Mad Capper. Thank you very much. Jesse Koskinen, always good to see you in the comments. Hey, it's a chicken/duckhead. Yeah, I said that in a nice, good voice, didn't I? There is J-A-Y-Y. I'm just doing things with my hands now. Good to see you in the comments. Thumbs up, thank you, and thank you. I hope I'll be able to make my video about the GoFundMe today. We have Cinnamon, thank you very much, and greatly appreciated. Hal Riggs, thumbs up. I have an itchy nose all of a sudden. I actually have heard The Streak by Ray Stevens. That's a very, very good song. Oh, he did some dark stuff too. But thank you very much. There is Monophobia 1, thank you very much. Made in Canada, greatly appreciated. Whoop wop wop woo, thumbs up and thank you. 77 Arcturus, greatly appreciated. The Floramu, I sincerely hope that your migraine is over. I used to get migraines fairly often when I was drinking and when I was recovering. I still get them. Not very often. I am very, very susceptible to light and sound. So, oh boy, I am so sorry you have them. I've never had to go to the hospital. I have had to cocoon in dark rooms. We have, that's it, actually, thumbs up. So, I'm going to move that. I'm going to move that so that I'm not having a spotlight shown into my face. I'm already pale enough, even with the darkness. But, let me put my glasses on. I am going to spend the rest of the day doing things, and then I'm going to spend the latter half of the evening going for walkies, because this bright sun is killing me and I don't like it. Tanning is scar tissue, and it increases your risk of skin cancer. And my grandfather had a lot of skin cancers, and I got moles on my back especially that I am really worried about. So I don't need sunlight. Hopefully you can get done what you would like to get done. I'm hopefully going to record more Dead Island. I'd like to play some more stuff just on my own. And for y'all, I'd love to do a flip through of the Ironsworn book so that we can all find it much less imposing than I do right now. Excuse me. But if you've watched this far, thumbs up, thank you very much. The very bulk of everybody who watches YouTube videos, even for people like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye who have talked about this, the bulk of viewers vanish in the first 3 minutes, even for them. So their watchers go whoosh. Now they stay pretty stable till the end. Mine usually drop off within 1.5 to 3 minutes like that, whoosh. And then it gets smaller toward the end. So if you are one of those people in the tail end of the viewership and you watch this far, thank you so very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. And hey, drop something in the comments so let me know you watched this far. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. Now I gotta turn on my controller. Itchy nose. And take care.